ran across this on YouTube. It was like, this kind of says it all in a way, you know, and it also shows this realm of geometry and form and pattern as being active and dynamic. In other words, it's not a static form, which is often people think of it as static. And so this really shows how that is. Those are active. To me, those are the ordering forces that we're evoking. My feeling is that she was at least referencing this on several occasions. This is one of them. These are both quotes both from her book, Structural Integration. Is balancing actually the placing of the body and flesh upon an energy pattern that activates it. That's what we just saw in that video. Energy patterns that activate form. The pattern of this fine energy would not be easily disrupted. So in other words, it obviously is not part of this dimension. And we might well survive relatively intact traumatic episodes that distort the flesh. So that's that realm of pattern that it's like, to me, what she's talking about here is an energetic armature around which the body is organized. And that part of what we're doing in structural integration is evoking that order, evoking that pattern, which is inherent and self-organizing. Of course, this is the other quote: "The joyous radiance of health is attained only as the body conforms more nearly to its inherent pattern. This pattern, this form, this Platonic idea is the blueprint for structure." So it's saying very similar things, this Platonic idea. Now, of course, there are a lot of objections to Plato. There are several fallacies, obviously. One is that there is a fixed realm, and I think that video showed that this is not a fixed realm. And of course, the other one was that this is a separate, unchanging realm that's separate from human life. And I think that that's also what this video shows, and what we're talking about is that this dimension is not separate. It's part of our being.
Okay, Bob Schrei, Ray McCall, Donna Thompson. I was so close.
That's quite all right.
Okay, can you tell me what is SourcePoint?
Well, the simplest form, actually, Don and I were working on this PowerPoint, and SourcePoint is basically well, let me back up again.
Okay.
I'm sure you've got Final Cut Pro or something.
I'll cut it. Don't worry.
But
editing's easy.
SourcePoint is focusing on the notion that there is a blueprint or template or body of information that gives rise to the human form and to health. And the various approaches at SourcePoint of working with points around the body to connect to that information is the foundation of the work. And then we're looking at where the obstructions are that keep that information from moving through the body. So it's a very simple approach to working with the body.
Simple and yet very profound, and there's a lot to it.
There is a lot to it, yes.
Who's next? What can you tell me?
Well, it really is simple because it's based on the principle that, yesterday in some presentation or other, I heard this statement from Dr. Wolf that what structural integration people are trying to do is invoke the pattern of health. And that's essentially what we're doing in SourcePoint Therapy, is invoking the pattern of health. And that pattern of health, these days modern physicists are really exploring the fact that quantum energy that people are beginning to accept as reality is not just energy, it's information, and we live in a big information field. And so we're specifically in SourcePoint Therapy tuning into that information and that vast information field with the intention of connecting to the information of health for the human body. And so we also work with geometric pattern, the points around the body that we work with form different geometric patterns because that geometry is essentially the language of that fundamental order, balance, harmony, flow in the universe.
Right. And Ray, how do you bring all this into your teachings and just into your practice?
I'll do the easy one first. In terms of my practice, with structural integration, we're always asking 3 questions. Where do we start? What do we do next? And when are we done? And we have various ways of answering that question. The classic 10-session recipe provides those answers, but it's kind of a one-size-suit-fits-all, which we know in fact has some limitations. So the thing that I really value about the SourcePoint approach is that by doing the scans, you get very reliable information about where the body would like you to start. And if you make contact there, everything else goes much better. The work is integrated at a deeper level and tends to hold better. So by getting direct information, where to start, where to go next, and when you're finished, it makes the structural integration work we do much more elegant.
All right. So if I wanted to find out more, what website would I go to find?
There is a site, SourcePointTherapy.com, and it has all the information about workshops. It has a lot of articles that have been written. There's also a little link for the blog, which Donna is working on the blog every week.
And Donna, if I want a copy of your book, The Vibrant Life, do I call you at home or just go to Amazon?
It's available on Amazon.
And what?
That's the
And
easiest
your
way to do
website?
it. Well, basically, these days my website is primarily also SourcePoint Therapy. I have a website called youareyourpath.com, which is pretty archival. It's material from, like, say, 2000 through 2007 of my meditations and other reflections and contemplations.
Oh, cool. And then, how do you like the conference?
The conference is great. I was really surprised, actually. There are a lot of great workshops and great people, and it's been very enjoyable.
Well, Ray, thank you. Bob,
Thank you.
Donna,